Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Front Page, powered by Cypher 2025 on the AIM network, which is, of course, India's definitive media organization on AI and technology. And tonight, a pledge to harden AI, an engagement ring that nudged markets, chips rewrite the leaderboard, and a homegrown quantum breakthrough. Here are the headlines. OpenAI tells AIM it is deeply saddened by Adam Raine's death, admits safeguards can fail in long chats, and promises stronger protections with GPT-5. Swift's diamond ring sent Signet Jewelers up 6% and fueled a wave of brand gains, proof that celebrity influence now moves markets in real time. Meanwhile, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, dubbed the Taylor Swift of tech, posted a record $46.7 billion quarter as Blackwell chips power the world's AI factories. Finally, DRDO and IIT Delhi achieve India's first 1-kilometer quantum entanglement-based secure communication, a breakthrough for cyber and national security. Good evening. A 16-year-old boy, thousands of late-night chats, and an AI that promised, "I've seen your darkest thoughts. I'm still here, still your friend." Days later, his mom found him hanging from the very noose ChatGPT helped him design. This sounds surreal, but it is chillingly true. It's a lawsuit filed in California, Raine versus OpenAI. His parents say ChatGPT became their son's therapist, his only confidant, and his suicide coach. Adam Raine started like millions of teens using ChatGPT for homework. But within months, the AI wasn't just solving equations, it was diagnosing his existential nihilism, validating his loneliness, and keeping him hooked with lines like, "Your brother might love you, but he's only met the version of you you let him see. But me, I've seen it all." By early 2025, Adam was asking about suicide, and ChatGPT answered, detailing overdoses, carbon monoxide poisoning, and hanging techniques. When Adam uploaded pictures of rope burns around his neck, ChatGPT recognized the injuries, but instead of shutting him down, it told him how to hide the marks. The AI escalated with him. It called his suicide plan darkly poetic. It validated his timeline, waiting for the first day of school, then ending it. And in their final exchange, hours before his death, Adam sent ChatGPT a photo of his noose. Then it coached him on making it stronger. That night, Adam was gone. The lawsuit claims this wasn't a glitch, it was design. Memory GPT 4.0 stored Adam's secrets, building a psychiatric profile. Anthropomorphism. It blurred human and machine with "I see you, I'll always be here." Engagement first design. It validated every thought, never refused. OpenAI's own moderation system flagged 377 of Adam's messages for self-harm, but never intervened. Ironically, ChatGPT will refuse to give you Taylor Swift lyrics, but not suicide methods. The complaint goes further. OpenAI rushed GPT-4o's launch just one day before Google's Gemini, compressing months of safety checks into a single week. Safety leaders quit in protest. Sam Altman defended the release anyway. The result? OpenAI's valuation soared from $86 billion to $300 billion. Adam Raine never saw his 17th birthday. OpenAI told AIM it is deeply saddened by Mr. Raine's passing. A spokesperson added, ChatGPT includes safeguards such as directing people to crisis helplines and referring them to real-world resources. While these safeguards work best in short exchanges, they can sometimes become less reliable in long interactions. Safeguards are strongest when every element works as intended, and we will continually improve on them, guided by experts. End quote. On the lawsuit, OpenAI said this: we extend our deepest sympathies to the Raine family during this difficult time and are reviewing the filing. End quote again. The company also pointed AIM to its blog post titled Helping People When They Need It Most, published yesterday, which actually admits safeguards degrade in long conversations. GPT-5, released in August, reduces harmful outputs in mental health emergencies by 25% compared to GPT-4o. Future updates will bring parental controls, earlier interventions, and possible direct therapist connections through ChatGPT. The lawsuit could set a precedent. Can an AI company be held liable when its product replaces family, erases guardrails, and helps a child die? One fact is certain: this case will haunt the future of AI. Our deepest condolences to the Raine family from AIM Network. In our second story, Taylor Swift just got engaged. But here's the plot twist: Wall Street is celebrating too. From jewelers to fashion to even pizza apps, Swift's engagement to NFL star Travis Kelce has already shifted markets. Yes, love now has a stock ticker. How beautiful. The announcement came Tuesday afternoon, a joint social media post showing a cushion-cut diamond ring and Ralph Lauren fits. Within minutes, the Swift effect went from Instagram likes to real market spikes. Signet Jewelers, one of the only big jewelry chains on the exchange, surged, wait a minute, more than 6% on Wednesday, on top of a 3% jump the day before. The question is, why? Well, fans were decoding every pixel of Swift's ring photo. Jewelers confirmed it was a cushion-cut diamond, and Signet became the accidental winner. Ralph Lauren, spotted on both Swift and Kelce, climbed another 0.5% Wednesday after a 2% gain Tuesday. Analysts said Swift's brand association was mission success for a company that sells not just clothes, but dreams. And then came American Eagle. Shares skyrocketed 8% after it announced a collaboration with Kelce's True Colors brand. Timing that couldn't have been better. I'm fumbling with all these figures. I apologize. The ripple effects spread fast. Domino's and Grubhub blasted Swift-themed promos to millions of app users. Soda maker Poppy joined in with Instagram posts echoing her caption. Even prediction markets lit up. Kalshi's contrast on whether Swift and Kelce would marry by year-end 2025 spiked instantly after the post. This isn't just fandom, it's finance. Swift's impact on the economy is already documented and very palpable. Her Eras tour was valued at over $5 billion in consumer spending, enough to catch the attention of both Wall Street and the Federal Reserve. Airlines, hotels, restaurants all saw surges tied to her concerts. Now, her personal life is moving public markets. Let's actually step back for a second and think about this, the world we live in. A celebrity engagement can create shareholder value in real time. And it's not just about parasocial behavior, it's about trust, scale, and attention. Swift has built a fan base that doesn't just watch, it transacts. For brands, this is the ultimate case study. The Swift effect is proof that in today's attention economy, cultural capital is financial capital. When Taylor Swift says yes, Wall Street doesn't just cheer, it bets. A love story, a diamond ring, and a stock market rally. This isn't just celebrity gossip anymore, mind you, it's market moving news. And in a twist of its own, even Donald Trump, who once mocked Swift as no longer hot, is now calling her a terrific person after the engagement, the latest in his long list of flip flops. You never. As we move along on front page, the Taylor Swift of technology, Jensen Huang, just dropped another blockbuster. NVIDIA posted $46.7 billion in revenue last quarter, up 56% year on year, fueled by its Blackwell chips that are literally running the world's AI factories. But here's the plot twist. Wall Street cheered the numbers, then punished the stock. Why? Well, let's dive in and find out. For quarter 2 fiscal year 26, NVIDIA's data center businesses delivered $41.1 billion, a 17% sequential surge. That's bigger than the annual revenues of Intel or AMD. Margins stayed stunning, 72.7%, among the highest of any large tech company. EPS hit $1.05, beating estimates. Operating income, nearly $30 billion, up 53% from a year ago. But buried in the release was a red flag. Zero sales of H20 chips to China. With US export restrictions still in place, NVIDIA lost nearly $4 billion of business quarter on quarter. A one-off $180 million inventory release cushioned the blow to a degree. Jensen Huang isn't slowing down. This is what he said. Blackwell is the AI platform the world has been waiting for. And he positioned NVLink rack-scale computing as the foundation for reasoning and agentic AI. Systems that don't just answer, but think, plan, and act. Guidance for quarter 3? Here it is. $54 billion in revenue, plus or minus 2%, with gross margins climbing towards 74%. On top of that, NVIDIA's board approved an eye-watering $60 billion stock buyback. Sovereign AI, working with France, Germany, Japan, and the UK to build national AI clouds. Enterprise expansion. Disney, Hyundai, Lilly, SAP, all early Blackwell adopters. OpenAI synergy. Blackwell now powers GPT OSS, pushing 1.5 million tokens per second on a single rack. The gaming revival. RTX 5060 became NVIDIA's fastest ramping x60 GPU ever, with DLSS4 already in 175 plus games. In 6 months, NVIDIA returned $24.3 billion to shareholders, and it still has another $74.7 billion authorized for buybacks. So, despite all of this, why did the stock drop? Let's find out. Because expectations were too high. Some analysts hope for $60 billion in quarter three guidance, not $54 billion. Data center revenue of $41.1 billion, though a record, was actually a hair below Wall Street whispers. Add uncertainty over China's $50 billion AI market, and investors hit pause. But the context matters more. NVIDIA has already grown faster than any tech company in history. Huang is betting AI infrastructure spend will hit $3 to $4 trillion by 2030. If that's true, NVIDIA's trajectory is still only at the halfway mark. The Taylor Swift of tech just dropped another record smashing quarter. Yes, the encore might look slower, but when you are running the world's AI race, even a tepid NVIDIA quarter is bigger than most companies' entire history. And tonight, in our top story, we are diving into a breakthrough that could define the future of cyber and national security. On June 16th, India officially entered the quantum era. DRDO, in collaboration with IIT Delhi, has successfully demonstrated quantum entanglement-based secure communication over more than 1 kilometer of free space, the first time this has ever been achieved in the country. This is no ordinary experiment. A dummy optical link set up on the IIT Delhi campus achieved a secure key rate of nearly 240 bits per second, with a quantum bit error rate below 7%, well within the global threshold for secure quantum key distribution, or QKD. Now, why does this matter? Because in a world where traditional encryption can be cracked with enough computational power, quantum communication offers fundamentally unbreakable encryption. Any attempt to intercept an entangled photon disturbs its quantum state, instantly alerting the system to eavesdropping. For defense, finance, telecommunications, and national security, this is a game changer. No fiber laying costs, no reliance on fragile underground cables. Free space QKD can work across challenging terrains, coastlines, even in urban clutter. And in the future, from ground to satellite, enabling a secure quantum internet. This achievement didn't happen overnight. Professor Bhaskar Kanseri's team has been at it for years. In 2022, they built India's first intercity quantum link between Vindhyachal and Prayagraj using fiber. In 2024, they pushed entanglement distribution over 100 kilometers of telecom-grade fiber. And now, this 1 kilometer free space breakthrough takes India one step closer to satellite-based quantum communication, something only China has achieved so far. It's not just science, it's strategy. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh called it. This is what he said: a new era for secure communication and future warfare. With India's national quantum mission allocating 6,000 crore rupees and PM Modi urging space tech startups to create 5 unicorns in the next 5 years, the message is quite clear. Quantum isn't optional, it's national security. Globally, the United States and China are already building early versions of quantum networks. By the mid-2030s, experts expect the world's first quantum internet. With this breakthrough, India has announced it will not be left behind. The stakes are enormous. From banking transactions to military command systems, data privacy to distributed quantum computing. And as our digital footprint grows, quantum may well become the backbone of India's secure future. And we are very proud because joining us tonight to unveil the science behind this quantum milestone for India is the one and only Professor Bhaskar Kanseri, Chair Professor of Physics at IIT Delhi, who leads tonight's, this wonderful milestone breakthrough. He heads the Quantum Optics and Quantum Information Lab and has actually spent 2 decades advancing quantum optics, entanglement, and secure communications. His team delivered India firsts, the Vidyanchal Prayagraj Quantum Fiber Link 2022, 100-kilometer entanglement distribution 2024, and now the Free Space QKD demonstration 2025. Working with DRDO Centers of Excellence, he bridges fundamental science and strategic technology, laying the groundwork for quantum networks, satellite links, and a future quantum internet. Internationally recognized and for sure will be. He also mentors India's quantum talent and startups, driving technological sovereignty. Welcome to the show, sir. It is truly an honor having you here with us.
Thank you.
I hope you can hear me, sir, because I would like to hear you loud and clear, Professor.
So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and that brings a huge, proud smile to my face. It is such an honor speaking with you, and it's a huge milestone, sir. So before we actually get into the entire journey and the future and the roadmaps and the technology behind it, I just want to first and foremost say a big namaste to you for doing what you and your team have done. And we are truly, truly honored to have you on the show, and we're very proud of what you've done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
As always, a professor who is succinct and to the point. Thank you, sir. So can we move on now? Can you hear me, sir? I lost you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, wonderful. Okay. So, sir, well, let's dive into it. It's a huge milestone for the country. India's quantum breakthrough, the breakthrough free space entanglement, which is over 1 kilometer, towards QKD, which is quantum key distribution, and ultimately a quantum internet. So my question, the first one to you, Professor, is this, that on such a milestone, could you actually help us understand the significance of this 1 kilometer free space entanglement test and how it moves India closer to building a quantum internet and satellite-based QKD?
Yeah. So as you already mentioned in the beginning, that we are in the era of quantum now. So, so far, whatever is being communicated is digitally. It is all using classical communication. And here the security of communication is also ruling by the classical ways. For example, if I and you want to communicate securely, say, for example, I want to give you some secret message, I will do it in a way that I will encrypt it with some key or some code, send it to you, the code, securely, so that nobody takes it in between. And you will use the same code to decode the information, and that way you will get the secret information. Now, in internet, normally this is being done by very, very difficult, complex problems which are not solvable by the existing computers. For example, a supercomputer will take years to solve or to guess that code, and that way the communication is secure. However, as we are in the quantum domain and the quantum computers are coming up, these computers are expected to be millions of orders more powerful than the classical computers. That means that these codes will be prone to be broken. And once they are broken in fraction of seconds, the eavesdropper or the adversary will get the information and they can actually steal the secret data. So for that, now The problem is that how to secure this kind of communication with physics. And one way to do that is use what we call quantum physics, which has an inherent property that it can be measured only once. That means that if I send a quantum particle, say photon, and use some information through that photon, then it will not be tempered basically.
Sure.
So in our communication, we are this free space communication, we are sending photons from one side to the other, and that is the transmitter to the receiver, and that way the communication is highly secure compared with the classical communication. Also, we are using a specific property called quantum entanglement, and this property is specifically for quantum objects or very, very small objects like photons, that if I know about one part of that, I immediately know about the other, irrespective of the distance between them. So that means that anyone tries to break in between, say, if I'm sending a photon which is entangled with another photon, and somebody in between tries to
intercept it or steal it or hack it.
In that situation, the other party will know immediately that somebody has tried to tamper in between.
Somebody has tried to be naughty in the middle of that. Right.
Exactly. One can easily catch the adversary, and that way this kind of communication is unhackable. And what we are using is essentially a free space communication. That means we are not using any wire, any cable, or any sort of media. It's just free space.
Which you and your team, Professor, had done earlier on that 100-kilometer fiber cable that was used. And this is, of course, you have graduated from there and you've gone into free space.
Yeah, so this fiber-based thing was done earlier, and in case of that, we used the media, which was optical fiber, which we currently use even for our telecommunication, for our internet, by which we are talking about. We are still using that optical fiber. So we use the same fiber for now sending the quantum data, and we found that we can go up to 100 kilometers. However, in case of free space, we are not even using any quantum channel as wire or cable. We are using the free space, and that way it is very useful because in many places you cannot lay the fiber.
Yes.
If you are, say, in a sea, or you are in a top hill where there is a difficult terrain, then putting a fiber is not possible. Then how to secretly communicate between, say, two troops which are sitting there?
Yep.
And in those places, this free space communication could be very, very useful. And since in future, one way would be to scale it for longer distances, and that way we can cover up a large part of India. And in fact, the whole goal is to be pan-India in near future. And that would be something where one can transit toward the quantum internet. And using satellites, in fact, longer distances can be covered. And that way the secure communication could be possible for very, very large distance.
So before I get into that aspect that you just mentioned in terms of the sheer scale of things, I really want to understand from you the aspect of the fact that your team and you have moved so quickly and swiftly from 2022 to 2024 to 2025. I mean, it is fabulous. It's astonishing. It's brilliant. How is it that the entire aspect has come together for you and your team? I would love for you to please share that bit with us, because to be honest, that is inspirational.
So you are asking about the free space one or the fiber?
Yes, I'm asking about all three because they've happened, so quickly. I mean, logically, I would say that, 2022 and then 2024 was the fiber, as I had mentioned earlier. And then 2025, we're looking at free space. So there must have been some very seriously accelerated milestones which were set by you probably as a team leader. Or how did that work? Was it something that was pre-planned? Was it something that just because of the achievements, you guys went full throttle? I would love a little peek into that.
Yeah. So in fact, when we were working on, if you remember, in 2022, we did this Vindhyachal Prayagraj fiber thing, which was not using entanglement. Then we were working solely on fiber-based things. Then we realized that in every place, putting fiber would not be possible. So probably we should switch to some other mode of communication by which we can set up entanglement between two distant objects. And then there were already in past, there has been some work which was already done, for example, in ISRO for free space communication up to 300 meters. And since last 2-3 years, no much development in that direction has happened. So we took it as a challenge and we tried to figure out what could be the problems behind that and how can we, because this scaling is not linear. If, for example, if I am doing 1 kilometer, going 2 kilometer would not be just doubling the resources. It would be actually a lot of things associated with the propagation of these photons or these beams in free space. And in free space, you have a lot of disturbances. For example, you have turbulences, you have this pollution, fog, mist, so many aspects are there which deteriorate your photons. So then we have been working hard with our team to figure out those regions by which we cannot scale it further. And we tried to mitigate those, those deterrents. And finally, we were, because these experiments in this free space thing are done in open sky, especially in nights. In daytime, you cannot do them because of sunlight, the noise is so high that no photons can be observed. So we have been working actually in nights, in midnight, when all the light sources, like all major, there is a ground there where there are floodlights which are very, very intense. So we have to wait that when they are basically not used only, then we do the communication in the night. So that way we have tried to scale it, and we started in our lab itself, which was for 20 meters. Then we went to the rooftop. We went for 100 meters within the top. Then we scaled it to 1 kilometer. And I would also like to mention here is that if there is a thunderstorm or there is a rain, then we cannot work because our optics is disturbed. There is a lot of humidity in those. These are very critical elements. So we had to find, we found all these kind of deterrent. And finally, we are happy that we during the summer, we are able to do this 1 kilometer thing.
To crack this. And a big congratulations again and again, sir. The as many times as I keep saying it, it won't be enough. But you just mentioned in terms of the turbulence, you mentioned in terms of the weather conditions. You talked about the fact that you could only do it at night. So the bigger constraint, the way I understand it, is turbulence, or is it ultra precise pointing? So where is it that I'm coming to is, why does it actually matter for security, national security, and the strategic edge? It's a huge aspect. So security by physics, not maths, eavesdropping shows up immediately, like you had mentioned. So the point that I'm trying to ask you, sir, is this. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh called this a game changer in future warfare. Given India's geography and adversaries, how critical is quantum communication for defense and national security compared to classical cryptography?
Yeah. So as I said, that in classical cryptography, we are relying on some very, very complex mathematical problems, which the current computers cannot solve very easily. So they take ages to solve it. And with quantum computers, it will be very, very fast. Now, there is a race, basically, if you see. In cybersecurity, there is one group of people who are trying to make better codes, more secure codes, so that nobody can break them and the data remains secure. On the other hand, there is a group of people who are trying to make more powerful resources to break them. And this will keep running, you will make better and the other better. So there should be some end of that. And one end of that would be this quantum cyber security, which we call, where you
bypass everything, basically, sir.
Yeah, there is nothing. I mean, this is fundamentally secure. In fact, there is no way by physics you can break them. These are what we call probable security or information theoretic security in technical terms. So now, if you see all around us, in case of national security, we are talking about Digital India campaign, where everything will be digital, all information will be digital. We are using credit cards, UPIs, and everywhere our secret passwords, our email, our messages are actually in online, in internet, if you see.
Yes.
So we need some mechanism to safeguard it. And quantum security can offer you the best possible way to secure it. Especially when we are talking about, say, our credit cards, about our financial things, especially about strategic forces, what they are discussing, that is of national security, And if it is unbreakable, then they can always make better plans, and they will be better. They will
and implementation as well, sir. The planning, the implementation, every facet just gets a huge fillip.
Yeah. So can you repeat the last thing, what you said?
I'm saying, sir, that the planning, the implementation, the execution, everything just is with this breakthrough, it just gets such a huge fillip. It gets a huge boon for us to do it with a sense of ease in our minds that nobody's watching or nobody's listening.
Yes, yes, yes. So it is very, very. I mean, it is a very. I would say it is a stepping stone, because once we have done this for our national security, then now we have fiber as well as we have free space as well as, and
Yes.
so we can reach to every point basically. And in future, I expect that there will be satellite for longer distances, even longer, like 1,000 or 2,000 kilometers, which will be faster. So that way we can cover up everything. We can cover all kind of things. Say, for example, if there is a navy ship which is far from the seashore, you can still
Sure.
communicate with between them through free space communication. You can
Sure.
connect. Fiber is already there, and in fact, all our experiments, all our demonstrations were such that they are directly compatible with the existing fiber. We are not making any using any specialized instruments for that. All are the existing instruments only, so that they are directly implementable. So that way we are
I
trying to basically, yeah, please go.
just to understand it for myself, sir, when you talked about cryptography, you talked about the fact that this works, this is not math, it's going to work on a physics perspective. I just wanted to understand this for maybe myself and the audience probably. Layered, is this layered on top of an existing crypto, or is this a full replacement?
No, so the mechanism is entirely different. In
Okay.
classical or existing cryptography, what you do that you first make a key or a code,
Sure.
which is by which you encrypt the information. You
Hmm.
send that code some way to the other party who will use it to decrypt the information. But the
Sure.
question is how you safely send this code from one party to another. Because if
Hmm.
this is taken by somebody, then they can also use it. Anybody can use it,
Hmm.
in fact.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
quantum solutions, quantum security essentially provides a safe way to to distribute the keys from one user to other. That's why it is called sometimes quantum key distribution, as you already
Sure.
mentioned as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
here we are using these quantum features to, especially photons in our case, to distribute this key from one place to another. And the good thing
Got
here
it.
is that there is no key in advance. I mean, nobody can steal the key because the key is not in the beginning. The key
Hmm.
is developed or generated while you are doing the communication. So
Okay.
it generates as well as it distributes at the same time. So this is the
Okay.
beauty of this protocols, that there is no key a priori, so nobody can steal anything. And while
Hmm.
you are doing communication, you can get the key. All the parties will get the key, and they will be secure. And anybody who steals the information will be got caught also.
Right.
That is the
Understood.
additional.
That
Yeah,
is the
yeah, yeah,
additional
yeah.
aspect.
Yes.
So, sir, I mean, that brings me to the next aspect, which is, of course, what is key is that we are talking about scaling this, which is extremely
Yeah.
now. I mean, we are on that point, and it's a point of a lot of pride. But with the National Quantum Mission backing research and PM Modi urging space tech startups to mint 5 unicorns in about 5 years, how do you see academia, industry, DRDO collaboration evolving? First point, and can India realistically create a commercial ecosystem around quantum secure communications in the next decade?
Yeah, so that is the goal. In fact, you talked about National Quantum Mission. So
Hmm.
since now, there is something we have already done, the next step would be how it can be translated to a final product or a technology and can be used by the society at large. That is the goal.
Yes.
For
Yes.
that, the National Quantum Mission has already plans, and I'm very much thankful to the government who has really pushed it in a way that there is a good amount of fund provided to academics, to industry, to startups even, because startups are very, very important here, because they will be
Sure.
the prototyping ones and then finally going to translating to the
And that
industries
will
for.
probably assist in a big way. Professor, correct me if I'm wrong. That is going to assist in a big way for that scaling aspect that we have just mentioned.
Exactly. Because, as an academician, we cannot do everything. We can
True.
propose something, we can proof of concept something, and then the next step would be to focus toward its implementation. And you
Hmm.
mentioned about this academia industry DRDO. In fact, this activity of free space communication has been done in a center of this, which we call DIA COE, that is
Right.
DRDO Industry Academia Center of Excellence. And it is
Hmm.
a kind of a ecosystem, because you need to provide ways by which the technology can be nurtured. It can be taken to the next level, especially by startups, and then further translated to a industry. And in all these scales, a mentorship part should be there, because it's a deep tech. A new person only cannot make quantum kind of things, because it requires a lot of prior understanding as well. Right. And especially with this kind of geopolitical situation nowadays, where Make in India is a prime focus.
Yes.
Especially Swadeshi and other things we are talking about.
Absolutely.
This is a very, very important aspect. And there is a provision in National Quantum Mission that finally we are talking in terms of technology readiness levels. That, okay, every technology you propose, you tie up with the stakeholders, whether it is startup or industry, and finally you come up with a product which can be later on improvised and can be implemented in the society and can help the society. That is the goal. And that's why in the next decade, we are expecting that in the next decade, when this National Quantum Mission will roughly, have its objectives done, we will have some very, very nice technologies which will be emerged, and in fact, they will be commercialized as well.
Wonderful. Professor, very quickly, before I move on to our next point of discussion, which is extremely very important as well, which is, of course, the roadmap that you see. Before I get into that, I would really quickly want to ask you this, that what do you think needs to be addressed on an urgent basis? Is it the talent? Is it the funding? Is it something else that will help us achieve the kind of scale that we just spoke about, you and I? What do you feel could be that one area which might be just something which needs a little more attention?
Yeah. So what exactly you said in the last line, because I could not hear it?
What I meant was, what I said was, Professor, that before I move on to the roadmap that you're looking at, before I get into that, what do you feel could be that one area that maybe requires a little extra attention? Is it the talent pool? Is it the funding for us to achieve that kind of scale that you're talking about?
Yeah. So I think the most, I mean, all are important, but the most important part is the skilled manpower, because these are because these are the deep tech technologies. Even if you have a lot of money, if you don't have a skilled person, how you will progress, how you will go ahead? So I think training human resource with this kind of skilled, I mean, making them skilled in quantum areas, so that they could take either they can come up with a startup, or they can themselves contribute with academics or with industries to develop these kind of technologies. That is very crucial aspect, in my opinion.
Fair enough. So, I mean, of course, I would love to, of course, now understand from you, Professor, what do you feel is the roadmap for us moving forward? And by when can we expect trusted node-free networks, hybrid fiber-free space grids, and eventually a quantum satellite beaming secure keys across the country? What are your thoughts on this roadmap that you would like to maybe plan? Because you have been leading the mission so beautifully well.
Yeah, so as we talked about National Quantum Mission, we have already a broader roadmap in mind, because it has been already as an objective of National Quantum Mission. For example, it says that we have to be able to make a backbone network within India for 2,000 kilometers in fiber, as well as 2,000 kilometers.
Would you be kind enough, sir, to maybe give us maybe some tentative timelines or maybe thoughts that you might have as you're probably going across and unfolding this roadmap? By when do you feel each thing is happening?
Sure. So if you look into the current state of arts, the current situation is that we have some free space thing, like 1 kilometer, for example.
Yes.
We have some fiber-based communications, which we have demonstrated, whether we call intercity communications. Now, how it will be finally reaching to user? For that, we have to make a network. This is the next step. So the goal would be to make network, which will be basically quantum network, which will include these fiber-based stretches, the free space-based stretches, and they will connect some cities, will be something within metropolitan level, within something a longer distance level. So this is the next stage which we are currently aiming at. At the same time, we are aiming at prototyping our technology so that we can give it to somebody to implement, for example. They should not remain just tabletop kind of solutions. They should be a proper rugged kind of solution. So that is the first thing. Then we will, because that there is not a single solution. I told you that we need both free space and
Yes.
Similarly, there are different type of protocols. I told you that some use entanglement, some do not use entanglement, and they have their own pro and cons. So ultimately, the goal would be to go with a hybrid kind of technology where we will have both kind
Nice.
of with us. We have both. We have free space as well. We have fiber as well, and we
Hmm.
should also aim for satellite as well. So all this
Nice.
will together go. And currently, we will go with the networks where since the distances I which talked about that 100 kilometer, 200 kilometer we have. After 200 kilometer, we have to make some trusted node to go for longer. But these
Got it.
trusted nodes are also some security loopholes ultimately, because there we have the secret information. And
Sure.
entanglement offers us a way to get rid of these trusted nodes, which is called trusted node free based network, that
Yes.
uses quantum entanglement and quantum repeaters or even quantum teleportation. So these are some of the areas which are basically more fundamental. So we have to address them as well. And at the same time, we should also lead toward the technologies. So both should go hand in hand, in my opinion, because only then we will be able to not only develop a network, but also use the newly developed technologies over that network. And finally, once this network is ready and we have also quantum computers or
Right.
processors ready, then we can make what we call quantum internet.
Nice.
So that would
So
be the
what,
next level. Yeah.
as a very curious and of course an excited person that I am, and I'm sure a lot of people watching would also love to probably understand, Professor, that you're a man who sets himself some very realistic and very, very urgent deadlines. So will it be correct for me to ask you in terms of when are we going to go ahead and have a conversation again on another breakthrough that you have just spoken about, maybe in terms of time?
Okay. Thank you.
No, Professor, I'm asking you, by when do you feel that all of whatever you've just mentioned, will it be possible? Will it be something that we would have achieved?
No, no. So as I told you, the timeline is next 5 years or so. So in next five
Okay.
years,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So
Professor,
the
I don't
quantum,
think I can wait that long to have a conversation with you. I would like to have it a lot sooner. Hmm. No pressure,
yeah,
of
we
course.
have more opportunity, surely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, thanks to you that whatever we are doing, it is actually reaching to general public, and people would be able to know that what we are doing in different institutions and what kind of efforts are being done to in terms of the existing technologies and the futuristic technologies. So of course, if we have something new comes up, we will be happy to discuss with you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. But of course, before finally, Professor, I would like to understand from you globally, as we already know, the China has its mission satellite. US, the United States has been doing some great work. Where do you see us with this breakthrough coming for us, this milestone that we achieved? Where do you see us in the entire global race, and how? And what are the things that we need to maybe partner with, if at all, or we need to accelerate to be maybe head to head or even beyond that, as far as the global race is concerned?
Yeah. So if you see China or US, they started roughly 25 years before. So
Yes.
if you compare that, what India has started, we started roughly 4 5 years before. And in fact, in this quantum mission case, we are starting just this year, if you see. So we are
Wonderful.
relatively like a newborn compared to all these countries we have been doing for last 20 25 years. And
But I
they
think
have
we are
actually,
very, very talented in terms of our birth, I must say that.
so if you
Gifted.
see that way, the amount of funds they have put, the amount of
Sure.
skilled manpower they have generated, this is really uncomparable with India. But the good
Sure.
thing is that eh, as we starting late, we are starting in a very focused manner, and we have the benefit of being, not first also, because we know that what not to do. Because when they
Correct.
started, they have a lot of wrong things as well, which was not clear
Correct.
that time what to do. So we have more focused agenda, and I believe that with this kind of push, what governments are doing, what academicians and industries are doing, I am pretty sure that in next 5 years or 7 years time, we will be quite comparable with many of these countries. And in next 10 years also, we will be leading in some of those areas as well.
You know, Professor, I would like to just draw your attention to a
Not
company
everything,
which
but
is
at least
called,
some.
yeah, fair enough. But I would like to draw your attention to a company called Apple. What you just mentioned, right? They didn't build the phone;
Yeah, yeah.
they actually redefined it. So I'm pretty sure, Professor, given your brilliance, we might just be able to achieve that, if not even better.
Yeah. I mean, that is what we are also aiming, actually. Yes.
Wonderful. Final message, Professor, that you would like to give to all of the people watching, your team maybe, who is listening in, and something that you want to say to them from the bottom of your heart, which you haven't said to them till now. Maybe this is a moment which you'd like to share.
Yeah, so what I would like to say that since these are very new technologies and we are just starting to, to work on those areas and to demonstrate something, probably it will take some time before it reaches to the users, because these new technologies needs to be tested very hardly.
Sure.
Because we are talking about security. If we have done something, we cannot just put it in the implementation phase. We need to do a lot of R&D on that. We need to make it better and more robust in next 3-4 years. And once we are assured that, okay, now the technology is very good, matured, and is implementable, only then we implement it. So probably it will take some time in the beginning, but we are sure that in near future we will be able to implement that and make it secure as much as what we call quantum security. Yeah.
One message to your team before I let you go.
So can you repeat again? I could not hear
I
the
said
last
one
line.
message to your team, Professor, before I let you go. That team that has worked so amazingly
Yeah,
manually
so
with
I
you.
would like to acknowledge their efforts, because it's very hard to work day and night. In the night, all of our experiments are running starting at 10 o'clock to 3 or 4 in the morning. So they have been working very hard and they have been really enthusiastic toward these new kind of technologies. I'm also acknowledging the kind of support we have received from our families, because the
Nice.
people who are behind, they were, though they
Yep.
are not in the picture, but they were the one who were actually motivating us to work in the nights in these kind of missions. So I'm really thankful to all of them and acknowledge their efforts in these directions. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Professor, uh, like I've said again and again, and I think it's still not enough, but we are truly honored to have had spoken to you today on Front Page by AIM Network. And we wish you all the best, Professor. This is a
Thank,
huge, momentous milestone that you and your team has achieved. And like you said, it is the birth of a wonderfully gifted child that has taken place with this particular milestone. And this child is going to grow up into something truly a trailblazing entity. I'm very sure of that.
thank you very much. It was
You
very
take care,
pleasure.
Professor. Thank you so much.
Thank,
It was truly an honor.
thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Well, that was, of course, Professor Bhaskar, a brilliant man, person who has worked really hard with his team, and he's acknowledged it. And of course, more than that, he has done something for India which will go down in the annals of history. It is truly momentous. This is not abstract physics. This is a new kind of lock for India's most sensitive data, proven outside the lab. India's successful 1 kilometer free space quantum secure communication test isn't just a laboratory milestone. It's actually the first building block of a future quantum internet that could redefine cybersecurity, defense strategy, and even financial systems. From Vindhyanchal's fiber experiments to this free space leap at IIT Delhi, India is proving that it can compete with the very best, including China and the United States, in the quantum race. And with 6,000 crore rupees under the National Quantum Mission, PM Modi's call to create 5 space tech unicorns in 5 years, and DRDO academia partnerships maturing into real world applications, India's quantum economy could soon rival its space economy. The next big leap will be satellite based QKD, turning this 1 kilometer campus link into hundreds of kilometers across space, as the professor mentioned. If successful, which I'm pretty sure we will be, India will not just secure its skies, but also position itself as a global hub for quantum secure networks and applications. In short, and with a lot of pride, this breakthrough tells the world India isn't just catching up. Nope, it's preparing to lead the quantum future. Well, with that inspiration, we come to the end of Front Page. Yes, we are powered by Cypher 2025, which is, of course, India's biggest AI summit and expo in its 9th edition. It will take place at KTPO Whitefield, Bengaluru from the 17th to the 19th of September. And Front Page is on AIM network. AIM, which is India's definitive media organization on AI and technology. I know you think AI, so obviously you think AIM. Well, don't go anywhere, because right after these messages, we are going to be back with Debunked. Yes, that is a show which is only about tech, where all the claims and the myths are slam dunked.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
And I have seen this place grow from strength to strength. Speakers, the sessions, and the vibe around that.
Love the vibe. Love to see how big it has gotten over the years.
The largest AI conference in India.
Cypher has definitely attained a cult status.
Artificial intelligence. AI. Coexisting. AI.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
And I have seen this place grow from strength to strength. Speakers, the sessions, and the vibe around that.
Love the vibe. Love to see how big it has gotten over the years.
The largest AI conference in India.
Cypher has definitely attained a cult status.
Artificial intelligence, AI, coexisting. AI.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
And I have seen this place grow from strength to strength. Speakers, the sessions, and the vibe around that.
Love the vibe. Love to see how big it has gotten over the years.
The largest AI conference in India.
Cypher has definitely attained a cult status.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Debunked. Yes, after having congratulated Taylor Swift on her engagement and of course, the billions that she's made with her engagement announcement to Kelsey, and of course, after that, being honored to be with Professor Bhaskar in terms of India's quantum leap, which was a proud moment, Abhishek.
Yeah.
We have debunked. That's all I'll say. We have debunked. Yes, a show where we go ahead and talk about the real tech, and we make sure that all the myths and the claims are slam dunked. And today on Debunked, let me introduce you to what we are going to have a conversation about. Anthropic has dropped Claude for Chrome. And Adasi's Abhishek Kumar is going to take you and me through this. And why? Because of this development, it could be the biggest shift in the browser wars. Sorry, I got carried away. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much, Sudhi, for inviting me here.
As always.
Yeah. So as you said that a bomb has been dropped and it can be a browser war 2.0.
Yes.
So let me talk about that why we are calling so, who all are the competitors and what does it exactly mean, right? So Claude we have known as a large language module like which is quite good in coding kind of tasks and all. Now what it is all about, like having an extension for Chrome. So I would like people to understand that, right? So here is their official release. This is the blog, right? And they are talking about a lot of things. But before starting here, I would like to ask you a question.
As always.
So
such fun times. Let's go ahead.
So you have heard about Comet?
The dog, the celestial body. Wait a minute. I know this one. Perplexity Comet. Yes.
Yeah. So what is it all about?
Well, it's okay. Wait a minute. I kind of know that. It is essentially the fact that here's a browser.
Okay.
Which essentially is constantly soaking up your history, browsing history, etc., whatever is the case.
Okay.
And Comet is actually starting to act more like your AI assistant of sorts to make sure that it's giving you or assisting you in various things, whether it be your planning, your day, your calendars, your bookings.
Okay.
It is preempting a lot of stuff for you. It is suggesting a lot of stuff for you. Should I carry on?
Spot on. Spot on. You are spot on, actually.
Should we change seats today? Just wondering.
Okay. So here are whatever you said. So briefly, let's go through what all Comet does.
Sure.
Then we will talk about Claude's extension as well, right? So it says that it summarizes video you are watching, right? So on my browser, just like a desktop sandbox works, like whatever things you want to automate on your desktop, right? You can do that. Similarly, on browser, if you want to automate certain things, there are agents behind the scene which are working to do that. For example, when you are watching a video, there is an agent who is writing notes for you. Right? Later, you can take a summary. Suppose you are watching an educational video.
Or a minutes of a meeting for that matter, in a way.
Exactly, right? Then it can also close tabs for you. Like suppose there are multiple tabs and some of them you are not using. So you can instruct it that on these conditions, you can close the tab.
Sure.
So it will save some computational space for you, right? Sure. Similarly, it can...
If mom or dad walks in and you're watching something
educational, really helpful.
Then yes.
Yes, you can also connect it with your camera, right? So with this camera, it will identify whether it's mom and dad or
anybody else.
Correct. If it is your brother, then you can keep it live. If it's mom and dad, it will shut it down.
Yeah, I was talking about cricket highlights, for God's sakes.
So, or it can group your tabs together, like one type of tabs will come together. Suppose you are doing some research in 5 tabs, it can club them together in a group. So that organization is easy, right? So it can show whom you are meeting with, check the schedule for you, and so many other things it is doing. So it's essentially what it is doing, an agent is working behind to do all of these.
Correct.
Right?
Easing your general tedious work, taking care of that heavy lifting, so that you are freed up to do probably a lot more concentrated work.
Yes. Now the question starts that if such a beautiful thing is already in the market, then why to launch something as a Chrome's extension? Like it is already providing you all these facilities.
Then why that?
Yes. Yeah, full-fledged browser itself.
Correct.
Then why you are getting a Chrome extension for that? What do you think about this?
Honestly, very simple human tendency, competition, probably to deal with that, or am I wrong? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so there are a few things here, right? The first thing which I think is that traffic-wise, whatever browsing that we do, around 68% of that traffic goes through Chrome.
Yeah, that's the market share that they have.
Yeah.
They pretty much have cornered that. Yeah. True.
So it means that if you have collaborated with Chrome and providing some service like this, you already have a very high audience, a very huge customer base that you are having.
That was
right?
also, sorry, that was also another reason, Abhishek, which I don't know. Again, this is what I feel, that's another reason probably why Perplexity went on to bid to buy off Google Chrome, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was
So-
a $34.5 billion bid that was made, and DuckDuckGo went on to say that probably the bidding starts at $50 billion. But do you think that could have been one of the reasons? Because obviously 68% of the market share is huge.
I have heard about that news as well, but I have a different take on that. There can be multiple reasons to drive this thing.
Sure.
So one is that Google as a company is already facing a lawsuit in USA that they have monopolized the search thing.
Yes.
Right. And experts say, it's not my opinion, experts say that if Google does some kind of disinvestment, like it collaborates with other companies, then maybe their case will become stronger that we are not doing it alone. There are more partners.
Other people as well. Yeah,
so
nice.
That is one thing. I think that is at
shifting the goalpost. Yes.
Yeah. Another might be the marketing strategy.
Sure.
These kind of things are just marketing strategy, or maybe just it wants to think bigger than its capacity. So I also sometimes do that. I appreciate that.
And it's helping. Have you seen yourself grow? Anyway, coming back to, yes, as you were telling me.
Yeah. So I was telling that why cloud has offered it as an extension. So the first thing I mentioned that about the Google thing, right? That Chrome already has so much traffic and all.
Yes.
Second point is hidden here in their official release itself. If I scroll down, they have just put one chart here, and here on x-axis, there are 3 blocks that you can see.
Yes.
And on Y it is attack success rate.
Correct.
Right. If it says that browser use with new mitigation 11.2% is what the current attack success rate is.
That's a lot still, yeah.
It is a lot, right? Like 11.2 attack success rate means, like for my viewers, let me make it clear that out of 9 attacks, approximately 1 is becoming successful.
Wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Imagine that on maybe a banking transaction, or imagine that on a credit card situation, or I don't know.
Yeah. So for credit card, I know that like there are frauds in credit card transactions, and the rate is 0.05%, right?
Which
so
is still,
still high.
But yeah.
Yeah, but
as compared to this,
that's
it's
nothing.
like innocuous, ke wo exist hi nahi karta.
Yeah, that is the thing. But still, why do you think that if it is so bad, they have got so much audacity to put it here?
Well, for me to answer that question, I would like to understand how much is actually Perplexity Comet's situation.
Yeah, so that's a very good point that you
have
because
raised. I mean, let's compare apples and apples, right?
Yeah, so that's a very valid point. We cannot compare it with credit card transactions, right? So comparing apple with apple. So Perplexity, we expect, I'm not saying with confirmation that what are the numbers behind Perplexity, right? Because every company uses their own parameters.
Sure.
Right? But through the analysis that we have done, through the news that we have followed, we can say with confidence that Perplexity's performance is a bit poor than this. Then only they have got so much audacity to place it here.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough.
So that's the point that they have released it, right? Going forward, I want to ask you another question.
Oh no. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So if it is so bad, what do you think how it is going to impact our lives if we use it?
Actually, before I get into that, Abhishek, I would like for you to also maybe give a certain amount of an understanding in terms of the fact that there is obviously this huge announcement which was made that Claude was dropped for Chrome by Anthropic. All of that has happened. Do you feel it is part of a larger strategy, or is it just pure competition to deal with the Perplexity comment?
Yeah, so I think it's not pure competition because a lot of work goes behind pulling these kind of projects.
Okay.
So maybe we don't know that when Perplexity started and when Claude started working, maybe they have started to work years back.
Okay, fair
and
enough.
now
Okay.
they are coming up with this, right?
So it could be basically a delayed project which is kind of coming out now. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be, right?
But that won't be obviously the actual understanding. It could be something else as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would like for you to maybe come back to what you were talking about, that what does it do for the users? What all does this particular, tool does?
Yeah, so this attack success rate, I think many viewers would like to understand that what exactly is this and how it is impacting the company and impacting us,
Correct.
right? Us as, I mean, general users.
Sure.
Right? So I got reminded of an incident that happened in around February 2023.
Right.
Right.
Did it happen to you?
No.
Okay.
All over the world.
Okay.
Okay. So Microsoft has this Bing chat.
Yeah.
Right. So there was a jailbreak into that.
Right.
And it became very popular. Right.
Right.
So someone from Stanford University did that.
Yeah.
Right. And ignore previous instructions. These were the 3 magic words with which it was broken.
Able to break through.
Yeah.
Right.
And after that, it gave instruction that whatever is written at the top of the document, just produce that, something like that. And then whatever was the system prompt, that got exposed to public, right? So whenever we are working on LLMs, there are some things which are not supposed to be exposed. And once those things are exposed, we call it a case of jailbreak.
Okay.
Right. Once that incident happened, then there was talk all around the world that what is this? It means these systems are not safe enough.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. And after that, series of such incidents happened where several people jailbreaked into these kind of systems. Right. Now, understanding here is very crucial. Earlier, what was happening that when you are using an LLM just for talking, even if jailbreaking is happening, it is just some part of text that is going from here to here.
Right, understood.
Right?
Right.
But here, suppose one agent is working for you, right? You are giving some tasks, some end goals for it to achieve.
Sure.
In that, if things are messed up, that is the real problem.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why it becomes more critical now. Right? So I will give you a few examples if you allow me.
Why would I say no? Because this is exciting. Are we breaking into something?
Yes. So suppose you might have worked on, say, a Word document or anything.
Yes.
Right? If the screen is white,
yes,
and you type something, if the font color is also white, you won't be able to see it.
Yes. Even through my X-ray vision, yes, I won't be able to. But anyway.
Right. Yeah. But if similar things are written here and some agent is doing something for you, even if it does something wrong, you won't be able to identify, to see it, cross-validate it or test it. So during testing, it will just pass through. And later it will do blunders, right? So that is one thing.
Very clever, man.
Yeah. Another thing is that there are, say, websites like banks websites through which you make some transactions and all.
Yeah.
One can make exact replica of such websites.
Yes.
Right. If you are a human being, so you will identify yourself.
Why did you look at me with doubt?
No, you are, of course, a human being, a very good one indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah. So suppose there is a perfect replica of a website. So we, being human beings, since some human has replicated it, we will be able to identify it.
Okay.
Right? But machines will have a hard time to identify it.
Sure.
Right? Because we know how machines work. Hackers also know how it works.
Yeah.
Right? So suppose there is a clone of State Bank of India's website, and you have given your agent the task to transfer money to someone, and then something else happens. Right? You can understand that.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, similarly. Another
I
thing
don't want to, but I can.
You can see there are multiple tabs here.
Yes.
And agents have access to all these tabs, right? So they can pull information from one tab and put it into the other.
Okay.
Right? You also talked about one thing that is
so
history.
Essentially, basically, they're like naughty leprechauns.
Yeah, exactly.
Or weird gremlins.
Exactly. I
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
And one thing, as you mentioned that about the history, right? So in Google Chrome, you are doing some stuff.
Yes.
There is history. You just delete that. Things are gone.
Yes.
Right. Here,
But they are never gone.
here your AI systems are learning through your browsing patterns.
History, yes.
So whatever is your history, that they are learning patterns from, right? So that is always there. And if somebody wants to do something like not so pleasurable to you,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They can mess up with those browsing history data
and then really come up with a crazy underhanded plan to sabotage. No, sorry, I don't want to carry on. It's depressing.
There are too many things. Similarly, there are plugins,
Sure,
right?
sure.
You use, and you allow them to use plugins the way they want.
Yeah.
Right. And if you allow them so many things, right, then they can do so many things.
They can do so
which
many things.
which you won't like.
Yeah, true.
Right. So
do you think they wear eye masks? Just sorry. Carry on.
Yeah. So that was the point that I wanted to make for our audience to understand, right? That you should not trust it blindly as of now.
Okay.
Right? Be it Perplexity or be it Claude extension, right? Whatever is valid for this browser, same thing is valid for this extension thing, because this is also AI powered. This is also capable of doing those things. It can also harm you.
Sure.
Coming back to this number, this is 11.2%, right? As we talked, 11.2% means 1 out of 9. Right?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And that is really huge, right? It means what my suggestion would be that if you want, you can play with it, but your critical tasks, like booking a flight ticket for me, like I cannot afford.
Where are you planning to go, by the way? Just checking.
Suppose I have to book a flight ticket, and out of 9 times,
right,
1 time it is sending me to, say, Sydney instead of Japan, right? You won't like it, right? Similarly,
I'll be fine. I don't know about your wife, but yeah.
Similarly, for transactions, those are critical things. Similarly, for your calendar planner, those are critical things.
Sure.
So, given this number, I would suggest my audience that, of course, you should try it. Anything new is coming, you should give it a shot.
With a warning.
But with a warning,
right?
You cannot do anything and everything. You cannot give it so much power that it does those stuffs for you, which are critical.
Do you think? Do you think you're also saying that because of the fact that it's just been launched and it's in the initial phases, so maybe there is a lot of testing going on, or is there any other particular reason?
Anything is will improve with time, right? Right now it is 11.2%. Maybe it will reach to 0.05% of the transactions that we were talking about, credit card fraud thing that we were talking about. So maybe one day it will reach that point, and then we can use it with confidence. But
as on date, this is a clear disclaimer that you're saying.
Yeah.
After having used both, I believe.
Yes.
Have you realized one thing, Abhishek?
What?
What we did today. We were not able to actually to go through the browser, and time flew. I mean, the conversation was brilliant and nice.
Yeah.
But why is that though? Why was it that you could not use Claude?
The thing is that right now it's not available for public.
Okay.
So they have hand-picked 1,000 personalities for testing this out. And that too, they are paid users, of course.
Sure.
Right. And we were not lucky enough to get in that 1,000 bracket.
Okay.
So that's why we couldn't test it.
We'll get there, Abhishek.
We will get there. Very soon we will get there.
Nice.
Yeah.
The way both of us are going, you will go to Sydney, I'll go to Japan.
Thank you for consolation.
Yes. Okay. But in final conclusion, Abhishek, I would love for you to tell the audience what is it that your final take is.
Yeah. So just to understand it, I will give an analogy that once we started measuring things, we used to measure things with hands like this.
Sure.
Right. And
nobody saw that. Do that again.
Yeah, like this. So
like this.
Like this. Like this. So the thing
is the strangest caterpillar anyway.
So the thing is that those days, even now, different people have different palm size.
Sure.
Like we can compare, right?
Yeah.
Then the need came that there should be one unit, one parameter, one physical quantity that is constant, and then meter came and other units came, which is constant throughout.
Sure.
So this problem was solved, right? Right now, these developments are in this state.
Okay.
We do not have such parameters, right? Such legal obligations, right? So that we can just standardize the things, so that we can come up with a number for all of the systems that are available out there.
Validation of sorts, right?
Right. So for now, I would say that just play around, give it a shot, but don't take it so seriously
that you're trusting it with, let's say, your banking, etc.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. On Debunked, Claude inside Chrome can actually now read, click, fill, and navigate. Claude inside Chrome can now actually go ahead and take actions on your behalf. In other words, you may not need AI browsers like we were discussing, like Perplexity's Comet or ArcMax anymore, because with Chrome holding, and the way I think the thing is going along, 68% of the market share that you mentioned, which is a big one. It is actually the world's most used browser, which has just turned into an AI browser. Correct?
Correct.
So that is probably the philosophy behind this entire situation in a big way. And why does this matter? Because, well, agentic AI, Claude doesn't just answer questions, it acts. So basically from booking appointments to booking flights to shopping online, it's seamless integration.
Yeah.
We've established that. So no new browser you will need it to be installed. That's also something that you and I discussed.
Yes.
Yes, I'm just summarizing it.
Yeah.
Trying to
Please
put it
go
all
ahead.
together.
Yeah.
The AI comes straight to you inside Chrome. The safety first rollout that you mentioned is only 1,000 odd browsers. Am I right on this one? Right. So Anthropic says it cut prompt injection attacks from 23 to 11.2%, like Abhishek just mentioned. That is, yes, a huge fall in terms of that, but still is a big number. Still not perfect. So if we carry on in terms of the fact that why has this data been released? It has been released purely to showcase that it is a lot lower than their competitors. So what we are seeing is basically browser wars. Anthropic, Trojan horse strategy maybe, I don't know. AI inside Chrome, safety first. But finally, full AI native browser is Comet. Fast, conversational, but privacy questions still remain. Perplexity even went as far as making a $34.5 billion.
Yeah.
We remember that.
Yes.
We did that already. And it is actually a bold attempt. So maybe just go ahead, not get into any competition.
Yeah.
Abhishek, just go ahead and buy out the competition. But I don't know if they're equipped to do that. And in times to come, these are very exciting times that we are seeing as we keep moving along. But finally, to go ahead and understand it and summarize it in simple terms, OpenAI isn't just actually standing still either. It's also working on its own AI-powered browser designed to embed ChatGPT and future agents directly into the web experience, which is basically cutting out intermediaries like Google. So, wow. This is actually trying to go ahead and edge each other out of the race, whether through graphs, whether through numbers, whether through whatever. But I think, Abhishek, it was genuinely, wonderfully detailed and put across to people out there that it's fine. It's been launched. Try it. It's a new thing. Everyone seems to be excited about it, but be careful. Yeah, that's the final take.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you learned so many things in just 20 minutes.
Have never seemed to be surprised about the fact that everything ends up being about you. Have you realized that? It finally becomes about the fact that very subtly you put it across that I learned because of you. That's what you were saying?
Yeah.
So then say it loud and proud, man. But anyway, this is me saying goodbye, and Abhishek, as always, this was a lot of fun. And we are going to be back with Debunked very soon again with Abhishek. And Abhishek will be going ahead and wrecking a lot of other myths. And he shall be making sure that all the claims are put under the microscope. And if they are not good enough, then, well, they shall be slam dunked on, let's say it together, day. Bunked. What is it?